Welcome everybody to the Thinning Out Loud podcast with your hosts Dan. What? Am I going to have to start that
Uh,
again? Am I?
no, just roll with it.
Oh
You
god,
stumbled there. Just,
I
just
got it.
roll with it.
I got it. All right. I
Just
just barely
stumbled a
stumbled a
little bit,
word. All
but
right. All right.
but just roll with it.
Let me.
Roll with it.
No, I'm going to have to start again.
No, you don't. Just
Welcome
roll with it.
everybody. Oh, no, you're talking. Oh, okay. All right. Fuck it.
Just roll with it.
With your hosts Dan, that is me, and Liam.
That's me. I'm knocking it down.
Here we talk about games, movies, and stuff that generally takes our fancy in the world over the last fortnight. I just want to start off with the fact that Activision have just been found with a patent from 2015, which
Just talk about that
is
too.
you were talking about. You want to talk about that? Okay. I thought I'd beat you to it.
Yep.
So this patent, the way it basically was during multiplayer game in which we're thinking is Destiny, because it's actually a Activision patent. It's not. Is it Bungie patent or is it Activision?
It's an Activision patent, but it's not necessary for Destiny. To boil it down to layman's terms, that we're going to make a patent, a program where they would match you with someone who's
Yes.
bought a gun
Yeah,
or a piece of armor, whatever.
I've got a quote here. Hang on.
Got it.
The microtransaction engine may match a more expert marquee player with a junior player to encourage the junior player to make game-related purchases of items possessed used by the marquee player. A junior player may wish to emulate the marquee player by obtaining weapons or other items used by that marquee player. So what they basically want to do is get newbies into the same lobby, or someone who doesn't have something that a person has bought with real money has. And if the person sees that person with the gun or whatever it is, they are more likely to go and buy that thing. Which I feel like is it's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an underhanded thing where they're
Yeah.
trying to like force people to go into microtransactions.
I get it. It's like they're trying to make money. They're a business. I understand, but
hmm
like, what's happened recently that has caused them to have to do this kind of thing? Why is everyone having to resort to microtransactions to make money? Is the business no longer viable to make normal amount or make goods amounts of money out of actually just making a video game anymore? Is it requiring that they have to go above and beyond?
I don't think so. I think the money's still there. It's just that they've shifted from a game as entertainment to a game as a
A
service.
service, yes, that's the words
So
I'm seeing thrown around as well.
exactly. So instead of just making a game for people to play and have fun and enjoy the whatever they're doing,
That
it,
one-off payment of $60 is no longer enough.
or $100 for New Zealand because the freaking exchange rate's
Well,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Um,
Well, it's not the
well,
exchange rate at the moment. It's just that the price of games has stayed really high when
hmm,
the extra US dollar New Zealand exchange rate is actually
pretty
quite
close.
quite
Yeah,
close.
it's always that the spread has always been there between New Zealand and Australia.
It's crazy.
No, it's not Australia. So yeah.
But yeah,
Um.
I just think it's a bit cheap.
hmm,
It's like it's manipulative.
Yep.
It's something that I just feel really nasty about, and the fact that it's Activision does not surprise me at all. EA putting microtransactions and things and all that kind of thing, and doing all the Star Wars Battlefront microtransactions and all that kind of thing. It doesn't surprise me, but it also makes me think why are these big companies doing it? I can kind of give it away or understand it with indies or smaller developers or
hmm
stuff like that, but it's like the big ones that seem to be throwing their weight around with it, which is kind of pissing me off a little bit.
Yeah, it's understandable with like the small sort of mobile
Yep.
app game sort of things, but it's really weird if it's the big ones who don't actually need the money because they release like 10 games a year
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
just sort of drowning them their own money. So
Yeah,
it's like, why are you guys doing this? You don't need to do this. You could just leave it as it is. It's
exactly.
like, why?
This doesn't need to be changed. If it ain't fixed,
No.
don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
And this is something that does not need to be fixed. Making
No.
more money out of people who just want to enjoy a video game is not
Yep.
something that needs to be a thing.
I agree. Yeah, it's a weird situation. Activision has said they're not actually implementing
No,
it yet in any games yet, but that's a yet.
exactly.
So
It could be in
you
the
know,
next Call of Duty. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
You could be playing a game and you're going against a match like this guy's going, here it is for $1.99.
yeah.
Buy now.
It's like an
It's like,
ad,
oh
just
no,
a
shut up.
popped up, like a little thing following the dude around saying buy
An
this
ad in
gun,
the
and like,
lobby or something like that.
yeah,
This guy had this gun. You can buy it for the low price of $1.99.
and like mouse and keyboard players, you're like clicking to shoot the guy, but you accidentally click the ad, and you have to like go to different tab and all that kind of
It takes
stuff.
you out of the game, takes you to
Takes
the
it out of the
website,
game. Yeah.
to the Steam store, and you're like, well, fuck, I don't.
Fuck yeah.
Several times to close it and everything. I gotta get back. No, I don't.
And then it boots you for non-activity. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Try shit on all the fucking pop-up ads.
Yeah.
Well, your Steam doesn't pop-up ads, as far as I know. So, yeah.
It's
it's
a
terrible.
scary turn. It is.
It's not a thing I don't think anyone wants to do, but except the money grabbing people and
Yeah.
Activision,
It's just if these companies were like more focused on actual gameplay and making these games that we've been expecting for a long time, because like back in the day, I feel like games haven't gotten bigger or longer or anything like that. They've gotten more impressive, they've gotten better looking for sure, but games are still the same amount of, like, you still get the same amount of content for what you're paying for, and we even get even less now, because games are like 5-10 hours long, and then they have DLC, and then they have pre-order stuff as well, which shouldn't really be a thing, because like when you think about it, you're pre-ordering a game, they've already like put the content there, they're just taking content out to give to those people that are pre-ordering it. It's like the guns and Destiny and stuff like that.
It reminds me of the controversy way back with Mass Effect 3. There's someone was doing a data mine of the PC version, I think, and they found that one of the DLC characters you could get, one of the Promethean characters you could get, allies. All his code was already in the game. It was just locked behind a pre-order bonus code.
Bonus
thing.
wall, yeah.
So, yeah, Bioware tried to do a song and dance about saying, "Oh, it has to be in there so we can do it properly and flesh it out and make all the conversations like yada yada yada." But it's like, why did you do that in the first place if it's already in the game? You don't have to do that. And they didn't even say anything. It was like a timed exclusive or anything like that. And so
it's just
if
sad.
it's a timed exclusive, that's a different thing entirely. That just means it's locked for 6 months or a year or what have you. It's not away permanently, but as far as I can know, it's always on the pre-order bonus shit. So, very weird.
Yeah, I don't see it being a healthy change for the gaming community. I don't. Where does it stop? You know, do we in a couple of years do we see these companies go under? No, we don't, because they're so huge that they can afford to make these risks, and they're probably going to pay off for them in the long run as well, which is the sad part.
Yeah, there'll be like you and I probably won't want to buy gun X because person Y has it. We'll sort of go, I don't care. But there'll be those people out there who will go like, oh, I like that gun, I'm going to buy it. Or that skin, or that hat, or whatever people are going to want it. So it's it's that thing. I don't think it's the majority that buy the microtransactions. I think it's the there's a 5% that actually have the money to splurge on it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And children with access to their parents' credit cards. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Hey, Daddy, I spent $500 on a game. What?
What? Yeah.
You're grounded.
Yeah. I kept on clicking that ad above that guy's head. Just...
I bought the gun 5 times.
Yeah.
$10 a flat.
Yeah.
$10
It's just ridiculous. Oh well, we'll move on. Carry on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I suppose it's my topic.
Yes, it is.
We got 3 trailers that I watched and I thought were quite good. We got the new Black Panther trailer, which was really
Watched
good.
it. Looks really good.
It looks really good. I like how Golden Jaguar shows up right at the end.
So that's kind of cool. Except like on that, like the amount of times Marvel has done that trope is starting to wear a little bit thin.
Right, secret reveal.
No, where it's a nemesis or like a mirror character to the actual character. Like the only thing that actually separates these two Black Panthers is the magical color of the suit, like the purple Black Panther and then the golden color on the other guys. That's the only way you're able to tell them apart. Other than that, it's all just a CG fest. Which the movie looks great. I'm really excited for. However, like Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2,
Hmm.
um,
Same suits.
well, same, yep. There was, who else had a nemesis that was exactly the same as them? Doctor
Captain.
Strange.
Yeah, fair point. Captain America, which Skull, even though I didn't really shield, it was still like super powered.
Yep,
So it was
he's been fighting Bucky Barnes for a little bit as well. So they've all had these a lot of the movies, they're just fighting mirror versions of themselves, and it's kind of
mm,
like I would like to see a bit more divergent. Like they should have. I feel like they should have doubled down on Claw and made him some kind of like ultimate
yeah.
badass guy who
Well,
uses sonic weaponry and all that kind of stuff. Apparently
yeah.
they're giving him a. It looks like I saw it in the trailer. His hand like gets split, and like a
Yeah.
gun
Well,
comes
if
out,
you remember, Age of Ultron, his arm got
gets the
chopped
arm
off,
chopped off. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it makes sense that you go robotic.
Yeah, but
Um,
the claw in the comic books has this weird, funky looking radar dish for an arm because it's like
While
Sonic
he's
kind of
a
stuff.
completely different set of powers, he's
Yes,
actually, I was reading in the comics, he's a sound made in a human form.
right.
However that works.
I don't know either, but yeah, like they gave him. I think they're giving him still a sonic arm, like it's gonna be a sonic laser beam sort of thing protruding out of his arm. But he's giving them the normal arm, which is, I mean, that's fine. But I think they should have made him the ultimate villain, not this dude who looks very much similar to Black Panther. I understand like the whole
Yeah.
civil unrest that's going on because their kings just died and they're all rising up against each other and this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But still, they could have had like a Hawkman or like some kind of evil bad guy that's different
Well,
to the good guy.
they do have that other guy in there. I can't remember his name now. He's the gorilla-based one. He's in there as well. So
Oh, I
I
didn't
suppose he
see him
could
in the
be
new
on
trailer, so I forgot about him completely.
He's. I think he was in the first trailer, but
Okay,
not for very much. And I
yeah,
know there's a lot of hype around him in the first trailer.
right.
I can't remember his name. I think it's something like Black Gorilla or some stupid thing like that.
Black Gorilla.
Yeah, it's weird that when that comic came out, it was very stereotypical of like what Africa was way back when, what people used to think it was back in the '60s, basically a nation
Yeah,
of savages.
yeah,
When that's not now, it's advanced well beyond that.
yeah.
Well, parts of that. Some of it's still war torn. Um,
I really like the whole how civilization looked in Wakanda. Like it was really advanced. It was really
yeah,
quite cool looking, and
yeah,
it gave me a kind of a similar feeling to the Amazon's place in Wonder Woman, but still it was different enough to make me kind of think that that's really, really cool.
yeah. Fair enough. Going away from that, the Star Wars Episode 8 got its second or third trailer.
Now you told me not to watch that.
I told you not to watch it because it will spoil it.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows it's fairly action heavy. It shows,
Yeah.
I think it shows a little bit too much, although it might be a complete misdirect. Going
Right.
off some of the theories we've seen online that the big bad is not the First Order, it's actually Luke Skywalker, and he's apparently switching to the dark side or some bullshit like that.
No.
That's a theory that's rattling around, and Mark Hamill, I think he's gone and trolled people and said
Right.
that, yeah, Mark Hamill plays Luke Skywalker, has trolled a bunch of people, said, yeah,
Yeah.
Luke's always been the bad guy, haven't you noticed?
Yeah.
And he's just trolling people as far as we can tell. So that's
Uh,
sort of how they're painting it,
yeah.
but it could be a complete misdirect, so we don't know. Till November 17th. And then Punisher got a trailer that came up today, I think it was.
November 17th.
November 17th for... That's my next point I was going to talk about, but we'll get to that. Yeah, and then Punisher got a trailer that came out today as well.
Oh, okay.
That looked pretty good. Lots of action, lots of combat, lots of guns going bang, and looked really good.
Yeah, I always liked him as that guy.
Yeah, John Bernthal. Yeah,
Hmm.
he's always good. He's always in any movie I think I've seen him in. He's always been like a good, character actor.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him that.
Mm.
He does Shane very, very well.
Yeah, for the 2 seasons there was there.
Well, no, he does that in every movie, in everything that he's in. So
Yeah, fair enough. He plays a very similar character in everyone,
Yeah.
always sort of loud and overbearing, but he still does it quite well.
I mean, Bruce Willis has been doing the same thing for fucking how long?
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
So,
just
so is The Rock
typecasting.
to a point.
Yeah, The Rock. Yeah. Well, his only failures of movies have been the ones that he's stepped away from the muscly, heavy, funny guy and gone into like the where he did those he did that Tooth Fairy movie. Oh, that was bad.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it's The Rock. Yeah. We won't go into The Rock.
we won't go to The Rock. We're gonna spend
Uh,
another podcast on The Rock. Jesus.
Yeah, those are my points. Just sort of mentioned the trailers. They all look pretty good. So,
All right.
forward to them.
Oh yeah, no, it looks like the next couple of months will be good. We got Thor coming out at the end of this month. Holy shit,
Mhm.
I'm excited for that. That looks so good. Although I've been watching a little bit of the press coverage for it, like they did the previews and all that kind of stuff, and did the red carpet talks with Taika Waititi and Chris Hemsworth and all that kind of thing. And it seems like Taika Waititi's actually reinvigorated Chris Hemsworth's love for the character, which is good.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth said in some interviews that he was a bit tired for the character
Yep.
was stagnating, and so bringing this out sort of helped him get over that.
Yeah. That's good.
And also, apparently, all the reviews have seen they said like Chris Hemsworth has like actual legit comedy chops. He
Yeah.
is fairly funny
Yeah.
as.
Apparently, Taika Waititi let him improv some of the stuff as well, which I thought was quite cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you'd be surprised. Most movies will allow that to a little bit, but they'll
Of course.
try the scene multiple times till
Yeah.
of seeing what works, and then when they get to the editing room, they'll sort of like step back the part that works the best for that part and go from there.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, my next one is Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon will be the last Pokemon RPGs for the 3DS. So I checked this out on IGN. That it was basically the director of Game Freak have come out and said that this is the basically culmination of everything they've been working towards on the 3DS, and that it will be the last one on the 3DS, and that they're just going to move straight onto the Switch, which I'm really excited for. That's actually a really positive thing in my mind.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. I don't know why they're moving away from the handheld stuff where Destiny's, where Pokemon's always been.
Yeah, well, the thing is that the Switch is a handheld. I think the entirety of Nintendo is going to be moving towards the Switch, and slowly on. I mean, I know the 3DS has been such a huge seller for them. They'll be stupid to not support it for a long time, but they'll be slowly moving towards more and more use of the Switch with portable games and smaller games and things like that. I think.
Mm. Yeah, fair enough.
It's just to me, it's a nice kind of positive groundbreaking that they are kind of really focusing on the next games. They aren't thinking about the past ones much anymore, and that they are sinking their teeth wholeheartedly into the next foray, which they're going to be. I'm really excited for.
Right, well, now you just go buy a Switch.
Well, yeah.
Okay, spend $500 on that thing.
No, I'm sure there'll be summer sales or something like that. Not that I'm going to get it in summer or next summer or whenever, but
Yeah,
you know.
probably like 5 years when
Yeah,
the Switch
exactly.
or whatever is out, you'll be able to get one for like $50.
Yeah.
Like you get with the DS's.
Yeah.
This is something else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's up next for you?
I was going to mention that we've got 3 things coming out on the same day just to make money tight. We've got
Oh.
Punisher on November 17th, we've got Justice League on November 17th, and we've got
Man.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 on November 17th.
So is Star Wars Battlefront 2 on November 17th?
It is.
Okay, that's fine. That's not a heavy day for me at all, because none of those things are really things I'm going to spend
It is
money
for
on.
some people. I'll probably go see Justice League just to be like punished again.
Yeah,
Um,
just to be let
and
down one more time.
and I'm thinking of getting Battlefront 2, but mainly just because
Really?
of the story, because I'm reading the tie-in book, like in the characters.
Oh,
books,
right, okay.
So I'm thinking of that, but I might just throw my hands in the game and wait for it
Well,
to come
that
down.
builds onto my next one, which is that Star Wars Battlefront 2 single player campaign will last 5 to 7 hours. Is that worth it for you to buy that game then? If it's going to be a 5 to 7 hour campaign?
It's probably more because I've read the book and I
Right.
understand the characters a little bit more. I understand
Right.
what their sort of motivations are.
So
and
the
how-
campaign in the first Battlefront games was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. I remember doing the
You
missions
mean
and
the
things like
ones way back when on
that.
the
Way
original
back when on PS2, yeah.
box? Way back when.
Yeah.
Did they even have campaigns? I don't remember.
Yeah, they did. They did campaigns. They were pretty good. They were fairly bare bones, and it was all kind of like within the maps of the game, which I think this one's going. I don't know if this one's creating its own maps or if it's doing within the own maps of the multiplayer campaign.
There is a story trailer up for it now.
Yeah, I played the open beta on my PC. Ran it fine, perfectly fine. But I can't get a feeling for Battlefront like combat. I don't know if it's just me and my terrible game playing skills, or if it's just not meshing with the game properly. But I can't just figure out that game at all. Like I tried the
Right.
first Battlefront, I couldn't get into it. Tried the beta, and I felt the exact same way. I don't know if it's too hardcore or whatever, but yeah, it's just not my thing, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I
Oh,
didn't. I meant to try the open beta, but by the time I remembered to go do it, the beta was over. I was like, well, I can't do that anymore.
right.
So
It was good. It was good. It was I didn't get a chance to play any heroes because I just died too much, and I tried a bunch of the different soldiers, and they all felt pretty similar. And they just I can't explain it. I just couldn't get into it. Sorry.
yeah, fair enough. But those class-based sort of shooters,
Mm,
they all tend to sort of be the same anyway.
mm,
Need to know. Yep, boring after a while. So I don't know. I think it's a solid maybe. I'll see how
yeah.
I feel when the game comes out. Otherwise, I might just wait till I don't know, drops down in price of like $20 or something.
It's EA, so you could just get Origin access or something like that.
Yep, I have to pay for that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to do that again. Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow. So that yeah. My
Alright.
next point was
Yes.
going to be about the Destiny 2 Prestige raid being finished within an hour, or just an hour, 6 minutes I think it was, but finished
Wow.
with a glitch.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a glitch apparently with Forklift Coil, I think it is, where you can do some trick with the ammo, so you get infinite or constantly respawning ammo.
Whoa.
So it's kind of split the community on half. Some groups
Ah.
saying the team that the clan that did it, could Clan Redeem, I think it is, they should not get the world's first because they glitched it.
Yeah.
And then there's another part, another half the community going, no, they should still have it because they still did it.
Yeah, exactly. If they have the knowledge and the ability to gimmick their way through it like that, then they should definitely keep it. I reckon it's part of the game is finding these kinds of these ways through. There wouldn't be a meta in multiplayer if people hadn't figured these things out, done the research, and done all that kind of thing with it. So if this is something that Bungie has neglected to patch out, which they have heaps of opportunity to do, then all by all means that everyone should be using it. Yeah.
I think I'm on the other side of the fence. I think if you're going to glitch in something you shouldn't be glitching in, you probably shouldn't get that credit, especially not if whatever the glitch is.
Yeah.
I think that sort of boils down to a disqualification because you did cheat a little bit, even though it's not full wholesale cheating, like you hacked the game and
Yeah.
added PC
Aimbots. Yeah.
aimbots on that sort of thing. So I don't know if they should get like the world's first. They should get like acknowledge that they did it first, but with an asterisk beside the name saying they use a glitch,
Oh yeah.
and maybe like tie them with like the guild that was just behind them that did it,
Yeah.
the clan that did it in like an hour, 8 minutes or something like that.
Oh, that's not
Or,
that
like,
much of a
I don't know if
difference
they
then.
glitched. Yeah, there isn't too much. So I think there should just be an asterisk beside the name and like first equal with the other guys,
Oh yeah.
just to be fair to everybody. It might be.
Well, I'm sure they'll have a wiki page on it. Those wiki pages are editable.
Yes.
You go right ahead, put that asterisk in there.
Yeah, but what does that actually mean? You go world's first in a digital raid that only like a couple million people play. It's like
Exactly. Yeah,
like,
we
who
haven't even
really
finished that
cares?
yet. We've tried it a couple times and gotten stuck multiple times.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Well, my next one is Final Fantasy 15 continues to do odd things. They have released a mobile game. I think they've released it. I'm just looking at my titles now. And they are doing VR spin offs of a game. So basically, this mobile game is actually a complete port of the Final Fantasy 15 game, just with weirdly kind of abstract characters, like the kind of cutie weeboo kind of characters. So and the graphics are all downgraded quite substantially, but it's basically the entire game. So my question with this is, you obviously don't care about Final Fantasy 15 because you don't care about JRPGs. But what do you think of these games having these kind of content pieces of content available outside the main game, like having like there's been some games with like TV shows built around them, and there's these
Yep.
games that have like multiple different kind of spin-off games. And the thing is with this, I think is kind of making it special to me, or making it kind of pop out to me a bit more, is that it's happening really quickly. Like, it's not like 3 years from their initial release date, and they're like, "Oh, we just released this thing, trying to like get people to go back into the game." They've done it like a year after the game came out. They've released all this bonus content, all this kind of stuff. A lot of it's free. Some of it is class of DLC, and is you pay for. But where do you stand on this kind of like spin-offy kind of stuff?
Does it have an impact on the main game? Do you get anything in the main game for it?
No, it's just
So,
it's a sole own thing.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not in general. If I'm, I don't know how to say this properly. If I'm playing, I don't generally do mobile games to do the odd
Yeah.
one, but I generally don't really give think too much about them
Yeah.
as a whole. So I don't know. I kind of just don't care.
Right. Is there any kind
Yeah,
of
it's
like
probably not the response one here. There's no sort of mobile games. Oh, look, this one ties into this one. Is like, I'll look at it for 5 minutes and go like, yeah, okay, I don't care anymore.
right?
Yeah, I just kind of don't care.
Okay.
So
Alright,
it's not the response
that's
I know
fine.
you want, but it's just
That's
like
right.
I'm not that interested in mobile games.
That's fine.
Mm.
Well,
If
I was
it
more
had,
meaning like this spin-off kind of like because they've done like movies, they've done other games, they've done VR kind of stuff as well. So it's not just mobile games. Like there's two mobile games out, and there might even be a third one out for this Final Fantasy 15. But then they've got the VR kind of things. They've got a multiplayer version of Final Fantasy that's apparently coming out very shortly. And they've done like a movie and an anime series for this game and all this kind of stuff. Would you like to see that happen to another game that you do actually like?
so like an extended universe, but everything else, they don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
work.
extended universe. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
they don't really work. They've been tried many times before with other stuff, and they just sort of don't work unless they grab your attention. Like look at
Mm.
say that TV show Defiance.
Yes.
The same time that the TV show started, there was a game that came out, an MMO.
Yeah.
But the game died pretty fucking quickly.
That's because it was a bad game.
Yeah, fair point. I don't. Yeah, I generally don't think extended universes really work that well if it's like a different medium.
Maybe
If it's like a console game and then a mobile game, I don't really
Yeah.
think they work that well.
I guess so, because it kind of like takes focus away. You know, like the Defiance could have been a better game if they didn't have to focus on this whole TV program that was happening.
Wow, it's two different things working
Yeah.
at the same time.
Same with Quantum Break though. Was it Quantum Break? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one on the Xbox.
Yeah. That was
Although-
good. They were good. But could it have been better if they didn't have to focus on this other thing?
I don't know. I think they were just trying to mesh the two things together.
Yeah.
I don't think it quite worked that well
Mm.
because the way games work is they tend to be very quick, whereas the TV show
Draws
it
out over weeks.
Yeah, it has to draw out. It has to take, I think on Defiance is like first two seasons were like 22 episodes, and the last one was like a half a
Jesus.
season. So it's the story has to drag out a lot longer in a TV series, and it has to be weekly. Whereas in a game, you can potentially sit down and finish a game in 24 hours if you're dedicated towards it, depending on the game, of course. I just don't think extended universes, if it's a completely different medium, I don't believe they work all that well.
Mm.
Because it's everybody has a certain, even while you're playing a game, the story is do this, that, and other thing. Everyone in their own mind is going, what's the motivation for this, and
Yeah.
making their own sort of backstory in the games.
Yeah.
So I don't quite think they work in most cases.
Expanded
There's
ga-
probably the odd
um,
one that's the exception, but I can't think of any.
Right.
Maybe in like comics because they're both visual mediums.
Yeah.
Games,
Like
but
they are generally still quite separate. Like the what's that DC fighting game that they brought out recently? Injustice. They have like a whole comic book like series for that. Like there's bunches of like different areas and like from different people's perspectives and all this kind of stuff. And the game's finished, but they're like continuing the story and the comic books and all that kind of stuff.
Mass Effect did the same thing with the
yeah.
comics.
Yeah,
There's a whole bunch of Mass Effect
Even-
comics.
even Ratchet and Clank had comic books. Like that was I've actually got the full run for that. That was actually really good. But yeah, like I don't know. It's just kind of just I guess these things happen. They're tested out just like this whole microtransactions stuff. People test different things. They work. They don't. I think this Final Fantasy 15 things is working actually. I think they're keeping interest in the brand by
Yeah, fair enough.
releasing this stuff.
Yeah,
And yeah,
instead of like DLC, which people might like not bother doing because
exactly. Yeah,
the interest in the game I've waned by that stage. Is a mobile game that's
yeah.
relatively easy to play. You
Mm.
can sort of release at the right time. People can go, oh, I might go play that because I want to, you know,
Spend more hours
play
of my
Final
life doing
Fantasy.
something.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
hmm.
All right. What was your? Do you have another one? Do you have one left?
No, well,
No.
I was going to talk about the Activision thing
Oh,
before you
okay.
into it.
That's all right. My last one then is Witcher
Um,
3
yeah, I got nothing
PS4.
else.
Okay, that's right. Witcher 3 PS4 versus PS4 Pro. Some comparison images came out. I don't really like. I don't really care about like the Witcher 3 in specific. Does a like a PS4 Pro patch? I know you don't own a PS4 Pro. You're thinking of getting an Xbox One X, right?
Hmm.
Do
Yep.
those kind of tag words make you want to go back and play those games in a higher resolution, or is it not really a big deal for you?
Um, maybe for like 5 minutes to like see how it
Right.
looks versus the previous version.
Yeah, yeah.
But not to go back and play just for the sake of a bit of graphics.
Yeah.
Um, so it certainly will look good, but although with that, I'll probably have to upgrade my TV.
Right.
Although 4K would still look really good on my TV anyway, as it should.
Yes. Well, I mean, it just always looks good anyway.
Always looks good. No, I don't think graphics are a big reason for me to go back to play a game. Maybe a little bit of nostalgia. Maybe you get to that little dead patch in the middle of the year where there's no games coming out and you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
go and play something.
Yeah.
That always is there.
Okay.
So maybe to replay it. But yeah, graphics I don't think are going to draw me back into a game.
No. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So
That's the same way I feel. Like this isn't making me want to go back. And also, I don't have a pro, so it doesn't matter at all. Yeah.
So here's a question then: would the update go through all copies of The Witcher 3, or would it just go to the ones that
Ah.
have a Pro? How would
Oh.
they differentiate that?
I don't think they
Would
would. I
you
think it would just be here's an
like
update.
an
You
update,
can update. You can download it,
or would
and
it be like say a thing you just have to get from the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, and you
like
just
a
install it, like a DLC pack,
yeah
but without a fee or anything like that?
option. Yeah, maybe it might be
Just
like that. But
possible.
I reckon it would just be a full on patch, and it would work if you
Or
had a
something in the
PS4
options,
Pro.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or it just wouldn't work when you just had a normal PS4.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a interesting way how they're going to get around that.
Hmm.
Because you wouldn't want an update that could potentially like do nothing for you because it's just going to suck up hard drive space.
Yeah, but those updates
Right.
don't really do too much anyway.
No.
I guess although if it is like a pro patch and you're getting like 4K imagery and all that kind of stuff, that could be gigs worth of data.
Hmm.
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 All
Right.
right, well I think that's about it for our fortnightly wrap up. We're moving on to the consumer corner.
I
No,
think
okay.
you get auto tunes and just do
Okay.
a digital keyboard or something.
Okay.
Just make
Get
sure
it.
you
I don't
get
have
all
money for that. This isn't making me
I'm
any
sure
money,
there's
so
a
therefore I'm not
million
going to spend
free
any more money
things
on
out
it.
there.
Um, all right, so my consumer corner, my game that I'm playing at the moment is Elix. It's just come out this last week, getting absolutely panned in the review scores coming out for it. A
Yeah.
4.5 on IGN, which I
Yeah.
have not seen them go that low on a
No,
score
I
in a
think their
long
reviews
time.
I think their review sums up a great story and a world building stuck in the
Yes,
ruins of a technical disaster.
that's
I think
that's
that
the
sort of
tagline.
sums it up.
Yeah,
Or
they are right. The game feels good to play. I like the way it feels. The combat is a bit of a grind. It
Mhm.
is clunky and it is a pain to deal with. But so it was Skyrim, you know. So like Skyrim was
Yeah,
just slash slash slash. It had terrible hitboxes, all that kind of thing. Similar
yeah.
kind of thing with this game. It's just more apparent because they add a combo system that does very little to nothing. The ranged game is not very good. It's mainly just like smashing with swords is your main kind of thing that you're going to be doing. Um,
Mm.
but like the RPG elements, the world building, the actual all the voice acting is very very good. The kind of the what do you call it? The puppetry is not very good. Like the lip syncing is not overly good. But the
Right.
graphics are everyone's harping on about how the game looks like it came out in 2005, and I'm like, no, I like the look of the graphics. I'm able to run it on ultra, 60 frames a second on my PC that I'm running at the moment, and it's really good. I like the look of it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Fortnite and just the way that the kind of the hills are constructed and the landscape is constructed, but then the players are very very realistic. They're
Hmm.
almost they actually look maybe not as good as Horizon, but kind of similar kind of art style.
Yeah.
And it look I like it. I really like it. I definitely recommend it to people that are wanting to scratch that kind of Skyrim itch. Because I need that periodically now that I've ever since I got hooked on Skyrim, I've needed that kind of open world RPG kind of do whatever you want kind of thing to
Yeah.
just pass time. So yeah, I recommend it. I like it. And if you don't mind a bit of hitbox and kind of lunging in the wrong direction,
Sure.
just like in most games. It is a little bit punishing because the monsters can be quite difficult to beat. But yeah, it's good. I like it.
Hmm.
What about you? What are you playing?
Middle Earth Shadow of War.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
How's that?
Came up
You bought any
last week.
crates yet?
The weird thing with microtransaction is they're completely optional. I have been given, by whatever mysterious means the game works, I have been given a couple of gold ones where
Right,
I've got like maybe 18 epic and legendary and common orcs
right.
join my war parties.
Yep.
Yeah, the limit system's good. I like the amount of flexibility with it and all the random orcs and random hints and perks and like the strengths and weaknesses that they have. I like how
Yep.
that's very random and they all look very random, whereas the first one they look quite similar. This one they're all very different. Um, and then the combat's much the same. Press Y to counter next to do
Yeah, yeah.
damage, and the other
Very
basic combos
Batman-esque.
do, yeah, or do the basic combo ones do damage, execute, or area effects or what have you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the thing that I'm finding really frustrating with it is that I feel like sometimes I'm fighting the controls because they're very odd. There isn't a lock-on system, so you can't
Oh,
actually target a specific orc. It's just whichever hostile orc is near you.
right.
So you can't. If you
Can
want to
you?
target like
Because
a captain, you can't because it's
right,
just gonna make you run off and fight someone else, and it's just if the game needs a lock-on system, I think it's that one.
right.
Um, but then I feel like with some of the sort of platforming controls, like trying to climb a wall or something like that, sometimes it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can like acrobatically leap over like a cliff, and then you can't get over a little like ledge that's like
Ledges. Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
like
yeah.
half an inch tall.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
With the combat thing, like in Batman Arkham, like it was based on where your analog stick was pointed. So you like that was how you aimed at certain enemies, but it would always kind of track to the nearest kind of enemy within that line of sight, sort of
Doesn't
thing.
work. Doesn't work
No,
in Middle Earth. It
really?
feels
Oh,
like it's whatever way Italian's facing, but half the time I'm facing the captain,
yeah.
and then he'll spin around and hit a guy behind him, and it's like
Right.
that guy wasn't attacking me. The captain in
Yeah.
front of me is about to kick my ass in because he's
Right.
going to drop a hammer on my head.
Yeah, he's gonna be way
But you
more
go and
powerful.
jump
Yeah.
out of the way and attack the other guy, and it's like, oh, why? I want to kill the captain.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing is, I feel like I need a skip button for when the Nemesis orcs pop up because sometimes it's interesting to listen to them rattle off
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yada yada yada. But sometimes combat and you got
You're
three
in the middle.
captains
Yeah.
bearing down you and you got like 20 other orcs on you, and it's just like, oh god,
You're
there
just
goes
losing
the
your rhythm.
conversation.
Just
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I hate that.
yeah,
Like you're like in the middle of a combat, they get into a conversation, and at the end of
yep.
conversation, you've lost your rhythm entirely, and you get your head smashed in. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really annoying. Graphically, it looks fantastic. The story's different. It's like 5 or 6 different story arcs
yeah,
that I think at some stage are going to tie into one point. Although I
right.
haven't quite worked out what the point is because I've only done like half of it. The stronghold capture stuff that's pretty good to do. Pretty interesting to do. Although to be honest, the final sort of boss he is meant to be really hard, and they are really hard.
Right.
They should had to fight one of them twice now, and he's just kicked my ass in each time. And it's just like, I can't get around this guy, so I got to come back later.
All right. Well, that
Yeah.
sounds really good. I'll probably will grab that at some point, maybe when it comes on sale or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I do like it, but it's just like the small niggle stuff, so it just gets a bit annoying
Yeah.
after a while. I feel like I have to like put the controller down and walk away and do something else because it's
Right.
just a little bit annoying at times.
Yeah. Because I got the first game like late, like
Yeah.
way after it came out, and I was actually quite pleasantly surprised with how good it was.
I think
So
everyone was
yeah.
pleasantly surprised that it came out.
Yeah.
The first one came out.
They should just do like WB should just keep making games. Just keep on doing it, and you keep using that same system, and just do it in any game you want, any kind of.
I feel like that system's starting to get a bit stale.
Really?
Because
Already?
it's much the same. You press Y to counter an extra attack and.
Oh
B to
no,
do
no,
whatever.
I was meaning the Nemesis system. Sorry.
Nemesis system, yes, but just change the combat system a
Really?
little bit.
That
Have
combat
something
system is a
different.
bit more, is so much more flamboyant than like most of the combat
but it's
systems.
Boring as fuck.
Ah,
Because
really?
we've seen it so many times.
I
And
guess
it's like
so.
why to counter extra attack? It just gets
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bit tiresome. So I need something a bit different.
Right.
Different way to do it. Nemesis system's great. I don't
Yeah.
know how you're going to integrate that into another sort of game because I don't know how it would work.
Oh, you just level up bosses. You know, I don't know. Yeah, maybe not in like a themed game. Maybe not like in a Batman game where you Joker beats you and gets way stronger or something like that. But maybe in like a space game where like you have to fight space pirates, and every time you lose they get stronger. Every time you beat them, they scuttle off and you do other stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I am reading at the moment. I'm gonna fuck this up because this is Japanese. Kumo desu ga nanika? There's a question mark at the end of that one, so I had to do that. So I'll read that again. Hang on. Kumo desu ga nanika? It's a reincarnation reincarnation manga. If you can't find it by the name, I'll do the first 3 words.
What's the English translation of it?
I don't fucking know. I haven't researched this at all. Hang on.
I can just type that into Google. And
Hang
see
on,
what
let me do this. I'm trying not to be too loud with my fucking keys. I bought the wrong keyboard and my keyboard's really loud. To English. Hang on. This is totally very professional. Well, that's not helpful at all. Translate. This is why Liam does all the researching, because I'm not good at this whole. It's not doing anything for me. It's not actually translating it for whatever. It is spelt, the first 3 words are Kumo Desuga. And it's got a picture of normally it's a little spider, very colourful looking spider. It's very cool. So basically the story goes, a schoolgirl is no, it's not going that way, Liam. I know what you're thinking already. A schoolgirl dies or something happens to her. It's not really actually stipulated at all. And wakes up and is a spider mob in a dungeon in a kind of like a RPG world sort of thing. And basically she has to grow as a monster and evolve and get new skills and all this kind of magical kind of stuff. And then as things get more and more kind of epic, she starts understanding that she's got more of a role in this kind of universe than what she may have originally thought, just being reborn as a spider sort of thing. It's very good. The character development's really good. I like the look of the art is very nice, and every time a chapter comes out, I want to read it immediately, which is something that I haven't found in many manga recently. So yeah, that's good.
Right, fair enough.
What about you? Any books or movies that you've watched recently?
I'm working on a weekly, well, I think it's fortnightly or monthly now, comic series based on Critical Role about how
Okay.
how the party met. They've done 2 issues so far. They're pretty good. The arts are nice and detailed. The story's written by a guy called Matt Colville who works at Turtle Rock Studios, who's done a few video games like Mercenaries, not Mercenaries, the Mercenaries games, and a few others. The art style's good. It's like a story of how all the characters met.
Yeah. So is it kind of like, have they already gone over that in the actual
Well, that's the
series?
thing.
Or
The web series on Twitch that called Critical Role, oddly enough. No, they never really covered off how they
right,
met, because when they started streaming it, they were already 2 years into the game
yeah,
already. So you sort of pick it off middle of the story.
yeah,
And they did a little thing midway through of explaining where the characters met and all that sort of
okay,
shit. So yeah, this is sort of like the retelling of how they met
yeah,
properly in game. Yeah, if you're a fan of Critical Role, it's a good thing. I like Critical Role. I'm
yeah,
probably going to take a break now from Critical Role, because they just finished this sort of main story arc.
yeah.
They've actually like closed the chapter on their current story with their main characters.
Oh,
and start a
wow.
new campaign next year after
Whoa.
115
What
episodes.
with new characters?
New characters, same
Oh.
people, but new characters. So
Oh, I wonder how many people will be on board for that. Because it is the same content, or is it going to be new content?
it's going to be in the same homebrew world that Matthew Mercer built, but
Yeah,
it's going to be completely new characters set roughly, from what he said, about a generation after
right. So
the,
new story.
the other guys. Yeah.
Okay, so that's better. I thought they were going to redo like the story that
No.
they had already done before.
The story is what it is now, and it is sort of fixed in stone.
Yeah.
So yeah, now they're just doing a whole bunch of one shots, trying to sort of get out of the mindset of the previous characters, I think.
Mm.
And I kid you not, the whole Critical Role, this current arc, finished last week. So the last
Yeah.
week was a sort of final. They're sort of, doing a
Well, that's
new
cool.
campaign next year sometime. So, but I'm gonna sort of stop now for a little while, just to sort of get out of that mindset.
Mm.
I think it's good to take a break from things after a while.
Yeah.
Something
Speaking of taking a break, something that we can now take a break from is ever having to talk about politics again. We'll probably do it a little bit tonight, and then hopefully not have to do it for another 4 years. So basically, this happened in the last couple of days. So if you follow any of our podcasts and you have noticed any of our terrible political talking that we've done, with no kind of information or kind of help to anybody that has been listening, National won the election, right? However, Mr. Winnie Peters threw a curveball and sided with Labour, making them the winners, not the losers of the election. And now it's a Labour NZ first government. So where we thought we were going to have a national led government, we're getting a Labour led government. Which is, it's like, from what they've said about policy, it's not overly a bad thing. I don't think that their policies have been too detrimental. I'm hoping they're dropping the whole, now this is going to go down really, really well. I'm hoping they're dropping the whole compulsory Māori in school thing. I don't really see it as necessary. I should probably stop there with that one, because that's going to lead down a whole bad rabbit hole for me. But yeah, it's just I'm happy that this has happened to a degree. It probably isn't going to change our lives dramatically, but I'm interested to see where it goes. So yeah, I guess for the next 4 years, hooray! There we go.
Yeah, I think we needed a change from Labour. Not that National was bad or anything like that. It's just time for a change, really.
Yeah, and that is what they're promising. They're promising change, which is, I think, something that the whole world needs in a way. All right, and on that note, we will leave you there. Thanks again, once again, for listening. And if you are listening, then hopefully you've been enjoying it. And if so, let us know somehow. I don't know. Comments are always appreciated.
Twitter or YouTube.
Twitter, YouTube.
What's the Twitter handle? Thinning Media.
I don't remember. I'll put it in the tagline, I guess, maybe, if I remember. Yeah, so enjoy your fortnight, and we'll see you next fortnight. Peace out. We love you. Catch ya.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.